Stay tuned as we take you inside Steven Seagal's action thriller, On Deadly Ground. Hi everyone, I'm Perry Jones, and welcome to On Location with the Warner Brothers movie On Deadly Ground. Now, Steven Seagal makes his directorial debut in the environmentally conscious action film. Now, in the next 30 minutes, you'll see Steven play an oil rigger teamed up with the beautiful Joan Chin, who plays an Eskimo activist. Well, together, they go up against a diabolical oil company president played by none other than Michael Caine.
You're an oil man.
But I put out the fires. I stop spills.
If Aegis 1 is not online and operational in 13 days, then the oil rights will revert back to the Eskimos, and that is not gonna happen.
As soon as that thing gets online, it's gonna blow.
He'd need a miracle to stop us now.
It's really a story about a man who is putting out fires for the oil corporations. And he's a sort of a whore in the sense that he does it for a lot of money and doesn't really want to think too deeply about it because he knows it's not particularly right or good.
I just can't figure why somebody do that to his own rig. It doesn't make sense.
He paying you that much money for us? And now you believe him over your friends?
Why don't you fall back, you, before you say something stupid?
It's a story about a man who gets hurled into another world and is forced to reevaluate his life and take a totally different look, a new look, at what he has been in the past.
You know, I doing a little snooping around the other day and went over to Aegis 1 and checked out the latest requisition file. I think I understand now why you're using the substandard preventers. If you wait for the next shipment, you'll never make the deadline. I gotta say, I'm a little ashamed of you. I'd just like to ask you something. How much is enough? How much money is enough?
There's some history between Michael Caine's character and that of Steven Seagal's, Forrest Taft.
It's a sort of love-hate relationship, of one of admiration for what he can do, because he's quite an extraordinary character, Forrest Taft. He's the toughest guy you've ever seen in your life anywhere. I mean, he is the toughest guy. And these guys, two guys, obviously started out at the beginning as sort of roughnecks together, and I went the executive route, and he went the roughneck route. I don't like him anymore, but there's still that sort of sneaking admiration for him, because on the good side, he is even tougher than I am on the bad side.
And something happens to change Forrest Taft's thinking.
He's left for dead, and he gets rescued by an Eskimo hunting party, and these Eskimos, in helping him regain his health and nurturing him back to life, the chief of the tribe is a shaman, and he sort of, you know, passes on a lot of his wisdom in terms of man's relationship with nature, and then my character really tries to amend his old ways and do something about the oil corporations destroying nature and mankind.
We are being lied to by some of the most sophisticated people on Earth.
In you, I've seen a great spirit.
And who the hell is this guy? Sensei's company. Company? CIA.
Whatever he is, he's a damn problem.
When he joins forces with Masu, played by Joan Chin, things really start to heat up.
I've proven to her that I'm willing to change and have changed, and she sort of, you know, accepts me into her family and way of life, and it becomes fairly close.
When Raven returned, he had made the birds, fish, and animals. But Raven was worried that man would destroy everything he had made to inhabit the earth. So he formed Bear, to be feared by man, and to protect the land.
The environmental message distinguishes it from the ordinary action films.
The message of the story is for us to be more in tune with our spiritual selves and to be more in tune with Mother Nature and to protect her and all of our natural resources and our wildlife. You know, we are destroying and polluting this earth to the point where it'll be uninhabitable for all of us. And somebody has to try to put a stop to this, and it's my effort, you know, to do that.
This environmental message is also important to Joan Chen.
Yeah, it has been important to me for quite some time. So I'm really glad that this film deals with some of the issues.
Is this the same tribal council that sold their oil and mineral rights to my company 20 years ago?
Michael Caine's character may be an opponent to the environment, but in reality, he feels quite differently.
That is part of what appealed to me in doing the picture. I mean, I wouldn't have come and just done a sort of crash bang wallop martial arts film, but there's much more to it than that, and Stephen feels very strongly about it. Well, we all feel very strongly about, really, whether we feel about it or not, because eventually you're going to say, well, I can't breathe, and then it might be a little too late, you know, or I can't see. And so I think we should sort of speak up now.
I'm hoping that this is such an important subject to so many people that, you know, a lot of people are going to be really behind this picture.
When we come back, we'll find out how Steven Seagal did as a first-time director.
You get up to attack, and like this, then he runs in front, like that. That's right.
Hi everyone, Perry Jones here, and welcome back to a 30-minute on-location look at On Deadly Ground. Now, after successfully completing 5 action movies, Steven Seagal decided to add director to his credits. So he marked his directorial debut in On Deadly Ground because of his strong belief in the film's environmental message.
It's a picture that I care an awful lot about because it's got such an important message. And I didn't want to leave that to chance and somebody who might not care about it as much as I do. And that's very simply why I decided to direct this.
Action.
Alaska was chosen as the setting for the film.
I think Alaska is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. You look at the mist on the mountains and the beautiful mountains and the fresh air up here and the beautiful oceans, and you see how it's supposed to be.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. When we first arrived, it was all white, and in 3 weeks, you see the life in green come out, and you see the snow melting, and all the snow become waterfalls, and the nature is beautiful. It really touched me. I mean, to think of all these water being polluted, it's painful. It's beautiful.
Another reason I did the picture was because I wanted to see Alaska. The people were very nice, and the scenery was great. But
that's not the only reason Michael Caine decided to do the movie.
I didn't make a picture in a year. I just goofed off and lazed around, and I looked at some scripts that came in, and it wasn't worth getting out of bed for, you know. And then suddenly this came along, and I tell you, I'd just seen a film called Under Siege with Steven Seagal, who, you know, the director and star of this movie. And I thought he had a tremendous quality, and it's extraordinary movie quality, and plus the physicality of the guy in the movie. I thought, I've never been in one of those films before. And so I thought, before I finish my career off, I'll be in one of these. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Was Steven Seagal concerned with directing such an experienced actor as Michael Caine?
A lot of fun. He's a consummate actor, a real professional, and yet, you know, he's fun to joke around with and all that.
How did Michael Caine feel about Steve's directorial skills?
Well, the first-time director brings a whole new load of fresh ideas, and he can get all of the old ideas from the cameraman, the editor. They've done it all before. And so long as they are good with actors, that's okay, because they've always someone can figure out the angles and cross-cutting and that sort of thing. And so long as they have a vision of what the movie is. And there's two things about Steven. Steven has a very strong vision of what this movie is and should be and will be. And secondly, he is very good with actors, even though he hasn't had tremendous experience at acting himself. He's only done 5 movies. But you see, it's easier to watch, and if you've got a good eye, he's very good. What I do with a first-time director they might be, say, worried. They say, oh, Christ, how am I going to direct him? You know, he's made 75 movies, and I've got to tell him what to do. I always say to them, listen, I'll give you an idea, maybe, of how a scene should be done. I'll show you. And then if you don't like it, you tell me, and I'll do it your way. Don't worry. You'll stay the boss, so don't ever worry about it, you know. And then I wheedle it round back to my way afterwards.
But with Steve, Michael didn't have to do that. Or did he?
Stephen trusts me, and I trust him.
I smacked him once, you know. I took off my shoe and hit him in the face with it, but that's all it took was just one smack.
Yeah, different kind of first-time director, yeah. The original 9-foot gorilla.
With one of the leading action stars as your director, you might think Michael would want to get a few tips.
No. I don't even want to practice with him. I don't even want him to show me anything. That's why I do everything he tells me. I'm afraid he's going to hit me. If he says, go over there and do it, I say, all right, Stephen, it's okay. I don't want to upset you.
Joan Chen seemed to tap into another side of Stephen.
From acting standpoint, I'm not sure. I haven't thought about it much. But Stephen is very, very intelligent. And once I was talking to him about certain things, I don't even remember what. I wanted something. And he told me, he said, Joan, you know, you can get everything you want. It's just how you ask for it. It's the skill of how you ask for it, and you get everything. And I from him, it's a great advice, because, you know, that's how he got started. I mean, he got started pretty late as an actor, and he's doing very, very well. And so I've learned something from his intelligence.
Does Stephen have the same admiration for his female co-star?
Very good. She's, once again, a real professional, somebody who likes to have fun, but when it comes time to deliver, she's always been there. She's a very good little actress and fun to be with.
Besides the actors, Stephen also had to deal with choreographing the fight scenes.
If you're going to get beat up by somebody, you might as well get beat up by the best.
I've been doing this for 30 years as a stuntman, and he is so fast, you can't react that fast enough to take the punch. It's scary.
How does Stephen describe his directorial experience?
Good, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's been a pleasure to work with Joan Chen and Michael Caine and John McGinley and lots of other very talented actors.
And will he direct again?
I love directing, and I hope to direct again someday. It won't be often, but once in a blue moon, I'd love to do it again.
Coming up next, we'll be talking with International Award winner Michael Caine and world-renowned actress Joan Chen.
What about people is upon you, Mr. Jennings?
Did you see that insane woman? We're in a perfectly good suit. I'm just appalled at these people. They're animals.
Welcome back to our 30-minute on-location look at On Deadly Ground. Now, Michael Caine and Joan Chen may not be known for acting in a lot of action films, but that didn't deter either of them from working on this picture.
Basically, I needed a change of pace. Most of my parts, you know, she's usually poised, mysterious, quiet, and this one is very physical. Yeah, it is different. And this one is fun. A lot of action, a lot of physical work. And also, besides being a great action film, its heart's at the right place, you know. It talks about important things also. So, and I've never been to Alaska, and I've never played an Eskimo, and never ridden a horse. All these things that I get to do because of this film.
Blowing up Aegis 1 is not the answer, Forrest. There are enough dead bodies. Let's leave it to the authorities. I know the press. Let's contact the press. Have you learned anything from my father?
And what was Joan Chen's character like?
She's extremely strong and aggressive. Her name is Masu, and she's a lawyer. She's one of the very few educated Inuit Yupik in that village. That's in our story. She came back to the village because she was disillusioned with the world, and she couldn't really use her skill to protect her land and her people, so she came back to her father. I hope to be able to convey a person that works for all these things that she has. Yeah, that's what she is.
Did Joan do much research for her role?
After I knew I was going to do the film, I bought books on where the Eskimo people came from and their lifestyles, and I went to Alaska way before we started shooting and learned to speak Yupik. I was getting really well, speaking really well now, and learned to work with the animal and just to be with them, to do all these house chores just so that it looks like it's my second nature. It was great fun.
But was Joan's preparation enough to fulfill the native Eskimos' expectations of her character?
They actually have great expectation from this character because I think they're very rarely represented in the media. And we had visitors and they have little children, and these little girls, they just really took to me. They wanted to be me, you know, and it was really touching because I was out there, I believe in working hard, no matter what kind of character it is, but I never understood the significance until I met these people and saw their expectation, that I thought, I better, you know, do the best I can, you know, to represent these people.
Michael Caine had another kind of challenge with his role.
His name is Michael Jennings, and he's a boss of an international oil company, and he is polluting Alaska with phony equipment. And it's just, in general, he represents the non-caring side of global industry as far as pollution goes. And my guy, Michael Jennings, is the arch villain in getting around any regulation.
I don't need that kind of problem right now.
Get rid of the problem.
You mean mercenaries? There's no redeeming quality in this guy at all. This is what I love. I'm full of redeeming qualities myself, so it's nice to get away. I think if you're a really nice person, you really want to be a really bad guy sometime. And the other thing is I find it very difficult to smile or laugh in a movie, although I do all the time in real life. But that's the hardest part of acting for me, and of course with this, I never have to smile. I just have to look ferocious, which is very, very easy.
Did you see that insane woman? Ruined a perfectly good suit. I'm just appalled at these people. They're animals.
Oh boy, this is a real dark character, this one.
They're not too crazy about you either, believe me.
The hell with the goddamn Eskimos. I make my deadline, I'll be in the driver's seat.
Normally I play very sympathetic people, but then I read this one, I thought, here's my chance to play a really, really nasty guy.
In researching the role, Michael gave a lot of thought to Michael Jennings' accent.
I didn't want any one nation to take the blame because these people are global. And so I do a sort of voice. It's not an accent, it's Michael Jennings' voice. And it's American enough not to seem British to the Americans, and British enough not to seem American to the British. And it's a strange sort of accent that I've worked out. I figured out he was some kind of foreigner who's lived in America a long time. Whenever you see any of these great disasters or something with one of these great companies and they feel it's necessary to bring the absolute boss man out, it always struck me, they're usually from America, but they always talk in an accent which is American, and then you say, well, I know he's lived in America for a while, but I wonder where he came from.
Up next, is there another action movie in the horizon for Steven Seagal, Joan Chen, and Michael Caine?
Get this up to the horses as fast as you can and stay down and stay out of sight.
Find me a body or find me the man.
Welcome back to our 30-minute on-location look at On Deadly Ground. I'm Perry Jones. With all that goes into the making of a film, how does Steven Seagal feel about the overall experience?
At the moment, the only thing I take away from it is just, the gratitude of having made it through another difficult day when I go home at night.
And what's in store for Michael Caine? Would he consider doing another action film?
I'm not too sure. I'm 60 years old now. I want to be the villain. The villain's a great job because you get to come in, you don't work a lot, you go to the place, just by the time you get bored with it, you go home and you leave all that other stuff and all that trudging through the mud and fighting and getting wet and dirty and everything. You leave that to all the other people. Everywhere I went in Alaska, I went by helicopter. And if it was snowing, I never got out of the helicopter because I didn't want to get my shoes dirty. That's the character, which is exactly like me. That's the one side of him who's like me. I would never get out of the helicopter and get my shoes wet. The hell with it.
And what about Joan Chen?
I don't know. I mean, I'm rested now. I'm ready to go and do some more dramatic stuff. I mean, I've been trained to be a dramatic actress, and so I'm ready to go back. Actually, if I could find good parts in most action films, they don't have great parts for women. I mean, if I could do a great action piece, the woman is actually taking charge in the action, I would do it any moment. Yeah, again, it's great fun.
All in all, what does Steven Seagal think of his On Deadly Ground experience?
In terms of filming, we did some things that turned out nicely. We got out of Alaska, on time and on budget, and got back home that way, and getting some nice things and some nice performances with some nice actors. And I'm very thankful that things have turned out as well as they have.
Well, that's our on-location look at the Warner Brothers action thriller On Deadly Ground, starring Steven Seagal, Joan Chen, and Michael Caine. I'm Perry Jones. Thanks for watching us.